Hello listeners, welcome back. As we end this summer of music and the kids go back to school, I couldn't think of a better group to end with than Twin Kingz. I'm so excited to have these guys on the show. They are a 2-in-1 deal. They're talented, they're gifted, and, as they say, the best in the game. There is a bit of strong language in today's episode, but please don't let that take away from the amazing conversation that we got to have as they shared their experience and their journey through music with us. So, tune in and enjoy. Welcome to IPA Sessions. Welcome to IPA Sessions, a podcast for independent artists. As always, I'm your host, Kay Jacob, and today I have some very special guests on. For the first time, I have a set of twin brothers. They are rappers known as Twin Kingz, and they're here to talk about their brand new album, which is out right now, streaming on all music platforms, and Froze Summer. These guys hail from Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to East Flatbush. Twins, welcome to the show. Say hi.
What up? Shout out to Dawsiders Connect. We outside. We outside.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm really excited to talk to you. I've had a chance to actually listen to some of the new album. It's incredible. As I tell Dom, who is our guy that's put me in touch with so many amazing, talented artists, and I'm like, man, just keep sending them this way. I want to keep putting you guys out there. Once again, he surprised me. You guys are great. You're very talented. And surprisingly, you don't come from North Carolina. You are actually from New York, right?
Hey, I love North Carolina, to be honest with you. I spent a lot of time at Fort Bragg, so
okay.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Military brat?
Flipped out a perfectly good imprint.
Yeah, we both were, yeah.
Both military guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that. That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show today. We're just going to jump right into this. I want to talk about your new album that's out right now, streaming on all music platforms, plus tons of other music. You guys have been making a lot of music. I've seen a lot of songs from you. And I believe the last I looked, you have at least three full concept albums, or is it 4?
Three.
Yeah. That's incredible. Just tell the audience that's listening a little bit about yourselves. Who are you? What do you do?
So honestly speaking, we are the Twin Kingz. We'll send anybody the bio. It was written for us and we didn't write it. So it makes it even better to just have somebody that can, or have people that see what we do and appreciate it and then write about it. We are, full hip hop artists. We are not in one subgenre of hip hop. We literally tap into everything and we do a little bit of everything. And we're very engaging with our audience and our fan group. So if somebody DMs me and was like, I would love to hear y'all on a dance record. I would love to hear y'all on a strip club song. Or, hey man, can y'all do some raw, authentic hip hop? Can you bring it back to the 90s? Like we could do everything. So normally we engage with people and try to make them a part of the story. So one thing that people that we're trying to make sure that people understand is that don't look at us as just as one album. We are a catalog and we're working to make sure that people understand and appreciate the catalog. Yeah. So since the very beginning, we've been teaching a double-sided story and a double-sided, it's a double-sided spoken word. So the album names are go in order, the names of the songs go in order, so that you can figure out where you are in the story in regards to where what you get to. So
yeah, and then also I wanted to you asked the question of who are we personally?
Just some real niggas.
We're real authentic twins. We're real authentic people that live everyday lives just like everybody else that's watching, that's tuning in, that loves us, that embraces us, and we embrace them. We are fathers. I'm a husband. We got families. We got kids. Like I said, we just real authentic people, and we try to give people a taste of our art, a taste of what we like to create, what we creatively driven, and we don't just put out, for lack of a better term, bullshit.
Facts.
So
there you go.
Yeah, I see a lot of controversy and a lot of feeding into now the narrative nowadays where, a lot of these mainstream artists and even podcasts, they always talk about how, these indie artists or the rap is trash. I just feel like you just don't know where to look.
And you ain't found us yet because we did.
Because we definitely
we are them. Yeah. The more that you unpack and you get to see authentic, no bullshit. We're not sugarcoating it. you could be a part of the story if you reach out.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. Like we try to be as engaging with people who fuck with us as possible. So most of the time, like a lot of people who catch on, they like really fuck with us heavy because we're for the people and by the people for sure.
Yeah. And then on top of that, lastly, we try not to sound like everybody else. So, you know, especially the stuff that people is getting kind of boring and died out now. Like, I mean, how many times can you kill somebody? You know what I mean?
I like what you said about you try not to sound like anyone else. You have this unique sound. I feel like almost every time I started a song, I thought I was listening to classical music for a minute there. Like there's this classical sense of sound, and then the beat kicks in, and I'm like, what is happening? It is so unique. It is so unique.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I really like the taste, and like you said, you're storytellers. You're doing this long story, and I love that. You knew from day one what you wanted to do, and I appreciate you guys, you know, letting us know who you are. So thank you. And this is an independent podcast for independent artists. I'm here about you guys. I'm always on your side. I want to push you out there as best I can. I want people to listen to you. Fuck anyone else that's a podcaster that wants to talk shit about indie artists, because they have no idea. And most of those people, they're getting paid to say that. So, and I'll happily get paid to talk about how great indie artists are.
And we greatly appreciate you and your platform.
Appreciated that, man.
For sure.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Not even close, like for real. Like it's a big deal.
Being an indie artist is tough enough, not to mention trying to be a musician. The music world is huge. All genres, no matter whether you're doing rap, whether you're doing R&B, country, rock and roll, you know, it's a hard industry to get into. And to simply be out there and do it on your own, which is what I want to get into next, is doing the music, putting in the work. You know, you told us who you are. Now tell us a little bit about what you do. How does your dynamic work? How do you come up with these concepts? If it helps, you can talk about what led into creating the new album, or just whatever it is that your process is. Hopefully I wasn't too all over the place with that question. Sorry.
So that's a great question. I would definitely say, who dragged me back into this world of music? This guy.
Your brother, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say it started in 2019. We had a bunch of music that was like just sitting in the catalog, kind of more mixtape-ish. It wasn't really on original beats. It was
we were the greatest
living room
rappers that ever was.
So, and that was kind of the narrative of the situation. So in 2019, I had a great career. My twin brother had a great career. We were sustaining our families. We was pretty much good. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say we made it, but we was all right. You know what I mean?
We were at least living the American.
We were living,
sure. Like still living it, but
taking care of our families, doing what any real man would do. And I was comfortable in that lifestyle, you know, until my twin brother kind of brought it to my attention and said, "Hey, man, like for real, bro, like let's do this shit for real. Like let's give it one good shot. Like let's see what happens, you know." And I told him, I said straight up, man. I said, "Look, man, why the fuck would I want to do that?" You know what I'm saying?
And he lose money. Like, hey, we're gonna lose money. Like, it's gonna cost us more to record. It's gonna cost us more
I was looking at it more from the financial side. Like, well, we ain't got no record deal. We ain't. And I mean, like, what's the point of even going full fledged? And I told him, I said, and he was like, you know, pretty much convincing me. And I said, all right, look, the only way you're gonna convince me is that we got to do something that nobody's ever done before,
right,
within music. And he was like, I know just the thing. And then he came up with the concept of creating, not just creating songs and just putting out them just to put them out, but he was like saying that we're going to label each subsequent track, everything that we release from start to finish, that we're going to do, we're going to tell a story within the track titles. So if you pay attention to our catalog, if you start to read from top to bottom, you'll realize it's starting to tell a story, you know, and that was all his idea. I got to give him his flowers. And he sold me on it. So I was
like, pretty clever. It's pretty clever too, because I was noticing, like, even the album title is a fragmented sentence. It's froze summer, and it's like, and you'll notice, like, some of the song titles they pick up as if you're like continuing a sentence in fragments. I love that. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's dope. It just makes people, like, the whole scheme that I pitched to him was like, hey man, we can make people listen to us in sections. Like we can be literally our own network in a sense. Like people who catch on and like, oh nah, that's dope. Like I'm waiting to see what new thing they do because I want to see where they go with it. or whatever their message is going to be. So we get to not only give messages out with the music that we put out, but we also create music and create messages that people can physically see
within the actual titles, within the actual and
it's a double-sided. So it's the track titles are its own thing, and the project titles are its own thing.
Yeah. So it's two separate stories. And then on top of that, to now answer your question, this album it stemmed from actually my fault technically, because this album was actually supposed to come out before the album that we dropped before it. So, but I kind of was like, nah, man, we really need to get more
fine tune it,
get a little things kind of taken care of. I didn't think the album was ready. He believed it was, but I'm happy we did take the second half approach, and the concept that came from it was that we wanted to
show the difference between the difference between hip hop and rap.
Yeah, like the concept was originally the She Made Heaven Fall project was
a rap
album, and we wanted to show that our versatility and say we're going to make a straight hip hop album, like he said. So
they were supposed to technically come out together, but after reaching out to our peoples and they was telling us this and you should focus on this and blah 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 and let it be eras, we did that.
So that was the concept. So it was more, and it was also to teach. And to deliver a lot more meaningful messages within the music. So if you listen to the tracks, it'll captivate you in multiple different ways, because we put a lot of heart, pain, just real experiences, life stories, life lessons. We put a lot into this album that kind of shows you more about who we are. Mm-hmm.
I like
as
it.
Men. I mean, so
literally, we took the gloves off and was like, "Look, this is us.
This is us." Yeah.
Deal with that.
That's good that you took your time then. You had to fine tune that so you could really show who you are. I mean, it's the true indie route to go, is you're putting yourself out there. So that's smart to do. You're not just putting music out there like, yeah, this is good, I'm good. It's like, no, this is personal. And I dig that.
Right. And the best part about that is the fact that we're not just trying to be somebody else. We're just authentically being ourselves. So things that we go through, we experience it and we're just creatively writing about it.
I want to say as far as my music knowledge goes in the hip hop world, I love A Tribe Called Quest. But I don't recall Tribe using classical music the way you guys do. So yeah, there's influence, yes, but there's not a copy. And I love that.
Exactly. Yeah. And the best part is the fact that anytime we do a project, we normally do our best to work with one engineer. The next album that we put out is going to be the first time that we ever work with multiple different producers on a project.
That's awesome. And now speaking of the way it's done, I appreciate you guys telling me who you are, what you do, and now I want to get into how you do it. Gotcha. So if you're ready to take me down that journey, what was the process like for this album? And who does what? Who's the writer? Who's the composer? Who's the editor? Take me through the technical.
I'll give you the weakness. I would say weakness is time, because
always.
Yeah, weakness is time. We both write, so we don't have to worry about that, not like that. So it just depends on who comes up with the concept. So what happens is, I guess to get more into the processes, we have to get captivated by the beat first. So yeah, we can people can send us a bunch of beats and all that stuff like that. Yeah, we can say we like it, we can rock with it, but it takes a different element to the beat that it has to strike us in a way. It's like, because it might strike, for example, I've had songs that struck him but didn't strike me, right? But as soon as I hear the way he wrote on it, and then what he wanted to talk about on that album, that's when it'll be like, oh, hold up, yeah, I like that, that's tough, and then it'll motivate me to want to actually finish my verse and write my stuff like that. So that's kind of more of the practices, but more on the weakness. When I say time, I'm not just talking about not just figuratively, but I mean it as in time spent. If all we had to do was worry about music and all we had to do was wake up every day and do music, for us, that'd be a dream.
Oh God.
Because wouldn't that be great?
We love
oh my God.
Writing. Well, the reason why I say time's a weakness is because, like I said, I'm a husband, I'm a father. He's a father.
We have other priorities.
We're full-time working. We're supporting our families as well. We got our 9 to 5. We're doing what we have to do to take care of our family for sustaining living. So when it comes to that, that's why I say time's a weakness.
And some of the strengths that I would say is so getting into the processes before I dive deep into that is very simple. If people have Apple phones, because we've been writing together so long, I already know how a song is structured from the moment I hear the beat, because I can already be there with the engineer or the producer. Oh, I see how you structured this. Okay, this is a 21 and not a 16. Oh, you started the beat off when the beat breaks and it's just, this is a verse straight. Okay, I can format what I want to talk about with that. Same thing with him. So when he hears a beat, he's like, okay, I'm gonna break the beat down first, because you'll listen to it a bunch of times. Break the beat down first, and then you go, okay, this is the concept that we want to talk about. So most of the time, how me and my brother write we're very topic driven. So like, if it's about a feeling, if it's about a struggle, if it's about a emotion, we maximize on that whatever song we do. So if it's a feeling of like, I want to be free, you're gonna hear the entire time us focusing on and structuring our bars and our songs and our similes and whatever on the fact that we want to be free. So we literally build from that. So I might come to him and be like, hey, yo, bro, I was inspired by this beat. It made me feel motivated. So, hey, I'm going to write this song and do something and just be real and authentic and just say, hey, this is about motivation, right? So I'm like, hey, and I pitched it. And the best part about having like an Apple device, and I pray to God they pay us eventually for this. But
yeah, right.
I pray to God they pay us for it. But we use the notes. So like we'll go on our notes and be like, and I share a note with him.
Oh, that share is
like,
great. Yeah.
Yeah, we share a note with him, and he could see me writing in real time at any time of the day. So he might be at work, like I'm busting my ass and it's not a 5, and he'll get a notification. Oh, your brother's writing notes for this. So like he'll see me writing in real time. And then like whenever we link up and we get together, I'm like, hey, you saw me writing it, right? All right, cool. Hey, bro, you need to hear me on this beat because you can see what I wrote, but I want you to hear the flow.
Yeah, hear the delivery. Hear
the delivery. Hear what I'm talking about. Hear how I'm projecting what I want to be said, if that makes any sense. That's in the processes.
Yeah.
The things that come with the last thing I'm going to say is the strengths. Mm-hmm. The strengths about what we do and how we do it is the fact that we're just being us authentically. And that's just the root of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, be yourself. And then I'm pretty sure that other people can relate to what you are, because we all really are just the same, just made different decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, you're expressing yourself. You're expressing emotions. You're expressing feelings. You're expressing frustrations. I mean, it's there. And if what you're expressing is real, you're being authentic, others will pick up on that. And I think that's what makes for great music, no matter what the genre.
Right. Absolutely. And also, too, I want to piggyback off the strength. Another strength is we're fucking competitive.
Like real brothers. Who came out first?
But
we don't know. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Fair enough. We are competitive, man. When I say competitive, like we compete all day. So like if I felt like he killed me on a verse, I'm going back and drawing back up. You're not doing me like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you're not doing
that's healthy competition. That's great.
Yeah, like, so
we can beat each other all day long.
We can beat each other all day. So like, especially if we trying to deliver bars or deliver, energy or deliver whatever, we're going to try to give it. I'm going to give him my all because I'm competing against him. He's going to give it his all. And we're going to try to kill each other on the song. And then the song just comes out dope because it's like, oh shit, y'all killed this. All right, cool. All right.
It's funny because you can't even just listen to a song in its entirety. Like you really got to look at the whole entire catalog and then listen to the song a couple of times to catch everything that we said.
Yeah.
Because so many bars, so many schemes, so many, deliveries and so many messages go over people's heads that it's like, you really got to study us like science.
Yeah.
So
like he said, the illest bar, matter of fact, when we talk about competitiveness, he said the illest bar, I believe it was track 10. It was Or Chillin'.
Yeah.
The song Or Chillin', he had the last verse on there, right? But he wrote his verse first. And I remember he said the illest bar. He said, a boss bitch with ego for sale. Leave your paperwork at work. Learn to address your mail.
Fine.
I was like, I literally, when he said it, I stopped. I turned the beat on. Was like, yo, chill. I just walked around like, yo, chill. All right. Because the bar was like, all right, yeah, you got me. I bet. I'm going back to I'm going back to make sure my verse is remembered. I know when real lyricists hear this shit, they gonna be like, yeah, that shit was hard. That shit was hard. So yeah. So that's what I mean by competitive. But I take it as a strength because it always makes us better.
Yeah, it really does. Because even when like we did the strip club song, we reached out to our close fans and was like, yo, what do you think that we're lacking catalog wise? And all of them said the same thing. Oh, you don't got enough sex records. You don't have enough girl records. Like you gotta be versatile. You gotta be versatile.
Okay.
Do a club record. So we was like, okay, so we did a strip club record, and really and truly, it's our hottest record out.
For anyone listening, listen to your fans.
Facts. If anybody is out there and wants to become, part of the castle and stuff like that, just DM us, and we promise, like, if it's not immediate, we're going to respond, and we're going to end up, taking whatever criticisms you tell us. We're going to look at it for sure.
That's a smart thing to do. I've talked about with other artists, it's actually really difficult to be able to take that criticism, especially when it's coming from a fan, someone that you're like, I thought you liked my music. And it's like, yeah, they like your music so much that they're telling you what they think they hear as a weakness or see as a weakness, something that you can improve upon. And you don't have to agree with it. It's something I've always said, you don't have to agree with the critique, but you should listen to it and understand where they're coming from, because it's only going to make you better.
Facts. Exactly.
Because even if it's something that you're like, I'm good, I don't need that, take it in, listen to it. Yeah. And it clearly worked out for you guys.
It's funny you say that. And actually, that's a great point, because I think it was like 6 months ago. So 6 months ago, somebody had said to me that, hey, man, you rap too fast, man. You got to slow down. And I'm like, I appreciate that. I'll take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying? And I took that criticism. But then I went back to my creative processes. It was like, man, I can do it all, man. I can go fast, slow. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do, But I still took that criticism like, all right, hold on. Do I really rap too damn fast? And I had to look back. Nah, I don't rap too fast. I got a lot of different styles.
And the best part about it is even when people even hating, when you're looking at them like, bro, you don't even pay my bills. I don't give a fuck. But I appreciate you taking the time to craft that message, though. Yeah. Like, legit. I'm going to be like, yo.
The fact that they took the time to write hate mail, hell yeah. Like, you had to take time out of your day to tell me that. Thank you.
So at the same time, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I had this one dude, and I posted, and I normally try to be transparent with my close friends list. So, like, if I'm in a situation where I have close friends list, like people that I meet personally, and they're like, yo, I'm going to follow you back, blah, blah, and I follow them back, I always add them to the personal group, the personal close friends list, so that they can see behind the scenes sometimes. And we always try to be transparent with other artists. We'd be like, hey, man, this person, watch out for them because they'll try to scam you. Don't be scammed by paying something that you should be paid for or anything like that. So most of the time, like I said, we just take critiques and we just give the same knowledge that we learned through our ascension. That's all.
That's a smart tactic, and it's a good way to help other artists, especially when you're an indie artist. When you're independent, it's all trial and error. You're learning everything as you go along. So why not share that knowledge? Why do this show? To share that information, share that knowledge with others who are like, hey, I want to do what the Twins do. I want to make music. I want to be the next big thing. I like their direction. I like their story. And it's like, they're letting me know, be aware of this. Pay attention to that. It's your personal experience. It may not happen to them, but it puts it on their radar so they can prepare for it.
They can be prepared for it. Like, that's all. Like, just learn. We like I said, we as we climb, we lifting. So we're lifting the next man up. We don't have to be the mainstream title starter. We write everything. So it's like, we know what it's like to be a writer. We know what it takes to be an artist. We know how much it costs for studio time. We know how much it costs to get a beat, listen to it, and spend hours writing and perfecting it, and then recording it, and then putting it out. We know all of that. So it's like, all right, if we can help, we're going to help.
Going back to the technical aspect here, I wanted to ask you guys, in your early career starting out, did you actually compose any of the beats yourself, or did you always have a friend or someone that you knew that could help you with? How did you go about making the actual sound behind the lyrics?
If you're talking about beat making, I ain't gonna lie, I never had the time to sit down and actually figure it out. Not gonna lie to you. I've always had friends, family, and now people that reached out to us, but now we've built a great relationship with like six producers. Like Davo. Shout out to Davo.
Shout out to K Paso.
That's my guy. Shout out to K Paso.
Shout out to T Life Music. Shout out to T Life. Shout out to Superiorless.
Like we grew great working relationships.
Shout out to Band Cool too.
Yeah, Band Cool too. So like we just never dived into it, to be honest.
And honestly speaking, I've worked.
That's okay. I'm just curious.
I've always worked with a couple, like me, outside of what he does, but like. Me, I've worked with a couple of producers and actually like gave them critiques like, yo, we want this to sound like this so we can write on it, if that makes sense. So like sometimes I always be like, yo, do this. Like there's like one published beat that I literally sat down and was like, no, I'm going to press keys because this is dope.
Yeah. And then we have a great ear. I would say we have a great ear for music. So sometimes we'll hear a beat and then we'll hear the potential on it and we'll be like, hey, take this out, put this in, or take out this, and this, and just emphasize this. Right. We easily know especially when it comes to writer space, because a lot of producers definitely need that as well. Sometimes they'll oversaturate a beat and it'd be hard as hell for us to write on it. It'd be a dope ass beat, But you be like, I can't write on that. Like, how you want me to? Like, there's no space for me to. There's no pockets for me to write on it. You know what I mean? Like, you filled every avenue,
every space. So, like, relax. Like,
you say that you don't make the beats, or you work with people who have the beats, but you are a composer. You've composed the music. You learn how to arrange the beats how you want them. That there is a lot. I don't know many people who can even do that much. So that's pretty impressive. So everything has your own personal touch. I dig that.
Right. I promise you, everything in regards to our catalog, we have meticulously went through and did. Like, for example, like, I think after the name switch, because originally we were the Kingz County Twins.
That was horrible. I hate that name.
Kingz County Twins was cool, but it was like, he hates it. I was like, look, he came to me and was like, hey, man,
this shit gotta change.
We got to change this, dog, because like we're making ourselves be, consolidated into a region.
Yeah.
And we are wherever we at. That's the number one thing that New York teaches you. Like, it's not where you're from, it's where you at. Like, you learn that. Like, that's like a golden street rule. So like, when he came to me, was like, yo, we're pigeonholing ourselves into one spot. He said, we need to change the name. So after the name switch, that's when we really like learned what was going on. And then people might type in Twin Kingz and only see like from when she came in on, but they're not even seeing the before, how it really started with Kingz County Twins,
which is fine,
which is cool, because it's like, all right, if you're around us or you know of us, then you're gonna search for the playlist.
Yeah, you'll see.
And you search for the playlist, you're gonna see it all. So most of the time, I go, okay, like, you'll see like us make that switch, and then when we made that switch, that's when we started really getting our hands with everything, like, the composing of the song, the mastering of the song,
definitely the beat selection,
everything. And we started really working with the producer and creating a sound with that producer.
Yeah,
and shout out to J. Cole for giving us that. He gave me that game a while ago when I was in the Army.
Big shout out to J. Cole. I hear his name a lot when I talk to anyone from your crew, whether it's you, Trell, Dom, they always mention that guy. So big shout out to him. He must be doing some magic. He's working magic.
Definitely one of the greats.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember the time when I gave him my demo. Like, I knew for a fact that he was never going to listen to my flash drive. But like, it's just the fact that, hey, I gave it to you, but I see you outside. Give me some game to put me in the direction that I want to go in. And it's like, all right, cool. And he puts me in a direction, and he gave me the $1 million worth of game. Shout out to Gilly, so to speak. He said, find producers and create a sound with that producer if you're a writer. And like, when I got that information, it was dope. Now, there's a funny ass story with that, because it's like, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not gonna get into that. But he gave me that game, and it was like, all right, man, I'm going to take this and apply this.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's dope.
I like it.
I'm happy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, fellas, I want to talk about this new album, Afro Summer, which is out right now, streaming all music platforms. Go listen to it. But what I want to ask you about is the process behind it, as in, earlier you mentioned time being a weakness, and you said that originally this was supposed to be the second album, not the third one. All in all, how long did it really take you to finalize everything, and from beginning to end, getting it out there streaming so that we could listen to it?
So I would say it took, I would say that album was done and recorded within the span of 4 months.
Yeah.
About 4 months it was done and recorded. The fine tuning and all that stuff, like what ended up happening,
like 3 months.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
That's a passion project, yeah.
So what happened? So I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? So we finished that album in like about 4.5 months. We finished it.
Hold on. Writing took us a month.
Yeah.
Writing it took us a month, but like making it sound like how we wanted it to sound, expanded.
I was getting that.
My bag.
Getting there, man.
My bag.
So
I love this.
I was getting there. But so it's about 4.5 months to actually finish like writing and recording. It was done within 4.5 months, right? Then we started writing the album after that, and then I got like a huge like fire under my ass. I was like, yo,
it's crazy.
I started cranking out like, I think it was like 6 or 7 more songs.
It was wild,
and it just, the way it was bumping, I was like, and the way it jumped off of the EP we dropped before that, it was like, yo, bro, this is a no-brainer. We gotta follow that EP up with this.
Yeah, with heat.
So it was like, we're gonna just follow up with straight heat, and then we're gonna give people that raw, real, ruggedy. Like, that's kind of how it happened, why I got it on the back burner. So we kind of shifted focus from the album, pushed over to that one, and then we went back to this album, and all in a cumulatively about a year.
Yeah, so
About a year and
so
years.
so the kind of
Even though all accumulated about a year, you also made a completely different album in that
yes.
time too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
impressive. Like it's just now sinking in for me. Like, wait a minute, that this one album, but you did a whole nother album. You like
Yeah.
took a break and completed and finalized a
Yeah.
whole other
Another
album,
album, yeah.
and then went back to it and put the new one out.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Impressive.
And the crazy part is the fact that, you know, when I petitioned like my little brother, like if you know the producer that's on there, I bought him everything to make the beats for that album. Like
Yeah,
I
it was
literally
dope.
bought him a whole computer, a mini board, everything. I was like, hey bro, I need you to make me an album's worth of beats. What's up?
Yeah, because he was dope. He was dope.
He's
as shit.
dope as
He was dope
fuck. And I'm still trying to like edge him like, hey man, keep making beats.
Yeah, we're another album, man. We're trying to do another album.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the. We got to follow this up with another album. Like I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
It's going. The passion's there. You're fired up.
Yeah,
Let's do
like,
it.
so
Yeah,
like,
get it
you know,
going.
I was inspired from the moment that I heard the second song on that album, "Ain't Fro Summer." So like the second song was like when I heard that beat, I was like, yeah, we got a whole album worth of stuff with you.
Yeah.
And like just to break it down, like we picked the beats and then we wrote each song depending on what the beat gave us to write about.
Yeah, what it felt like.
Yeah, and we captivated on each emotion. And so if you learn or you listen to it, you're like, okay, what are they talking about? Oh, let me listen to what they're saying. Oh, this is dope, as opposed to just trying to dance to it. You know, we're trying to bring the element back to like hip hop to listen to what we're saying.
All I'm hearing is that the spoken word storytelling, you still have more to say. The story's not over.
No,
I love it.
Not over yet.
I wanted to ask you guys too, you know, sometimes we, in the independent world, you, especially when you start out, you have to finance yourself. You're investing a lot of time and money and energy into your own project. I want to ask you guys about finances. I don't need specific numbers. I just want to know, as of now, where you are compared to how you started. Has there been a financial gain for you? Has there been whether it's monetary or maybe it's just the experience itself? Has it paid out for you in any way?
And no.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. I would say like, yes, it paid out in regards to like, the whole goal for us was never to make money. Like the whole goal is not really predicated on money because we've turned down $1.5 million deals. We've turned down $2 million deals.
Wow.
It was never about the money. It was about the freedom to be an artist. Like can in the passion. Like
That's hardcore.
Can we really like can you really just be free? Like, hold on. We turned down these deals because it was like we are artists and we are writers and we are this. We understand that you got to make your ends meet and get your money back. But at the same time, it was like, can we just be free enough to be able to express ourselves? And when those contracts came back and we're reading it and it's like, yeah, you're not making me free. You just want me to be under your level of control. And you just want somebody that's really creative to write themselves out of it.
Yeah, we don't want to be controlled.
Yeah,
So
don't control us.
You don't want to be making jingles. Why would you?
Yeah, like I don't want to be. I don't because my thing is like I don't want you to tell me what to write about. I don't want you to tell me what I can and can't say. I don't want you to tell me like, nah. I'm a creator. Let me create. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, fuck it. But don't tell me. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me I ain't writing that. But I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just look at it that way.
I think it's dope. It's dope.
As far as the monetary gain, to piggyback on what my brother said, yeah. I mean, in a way,
we made and lost.
I would say
we made and lost.
I would say the losses heavily outweigh the gains, but.
We never needed the rap.
We never need. Like I said before, we never needed the rap in the first place. So we weren't looking to be like, oh yeah, I absolutely need let me get the money so I can figure out how to record, or let me get the money so I can figure out how to feed my family. Like, nah, I'm not stopping. We were already.
My fault. Let me just jump in.
Yeah,
we never were in a situation where it was like, oh my God, we have to do this to make a living.
Yeah.
It was just pure passion and because we love it. So at the end of the day, I can lose everything just making a catalog, but guess what? We said we're going to do this, and we did it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's not about it was never about the money. He doesn't have to rap. He has a house. He has a family. He has a fucking great career. I have a great career. We make a lot of money every month anyway with our 9-to-5s. It's like you got to entice me enough to make me feel like,
is it worth walking away from your 9-to-5?
Yeah, like you want me to walk away from this life to do what?
Yeah, so it's like more or less like I said, we've made some money off the music, but
we did make money off the music.
Has it been what we've poured into it? No, but I mean, we're not doing it for, like I said, like the Twin said, we're not doing it for the monetary gain. Now, I'm not gonna lie, would I like a lot more money with the stuff that I poured into it?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, fuck no. I ain't gonna sit here and lie like, yeah, man, offer me $5,000 to show up on this show. I'm gonna show up. What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? But as far as like
Effects,
you know what I'm saying, I'm just keeping it real. But so it's like, I'm not gonna say that it's not a motivation to get more money out of it. No. Absolutely, but I want to say that, yeah, we've made a little bit of money, but it's not great. So it's like the passion and the want to do it, the drive, the best
hunger.
The
best part,
you know your worth is what it sounds like. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it sounds like you guys, you know your worth and you know what you're worth. And until that is the right amount that's offered, that's going to be what's worth it for you, then you're fine where you are. Keep doing what you're doing. Have that freedom, because part of what your worth is your freedom to be able to be creative and have control over your art. You're an artist.
Right. Yeah, and the best part is that, Nipsey paved the way in regards to doing that. But I just wanted to say this one thing, and I promise you, take it and run with it. But when we decided that we were going to make music, the biggest payoff for us is the fact that the entire world sees it. So like we have people from like Romania, people from like India, people from like, freaking Russia, people London. From like London. Huh. They're reaching out to us and they're like, oh my God, I heard this song. This shit is fire. Oh my God. Like I got a snippet of your song on Instagram, and when are you dropping this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for it. Like that's the biggest payoff than anything else.
I appreciate that more than just quick monetary gain.
Yeah. I'm just saying that that's the biggest payoff is the fact that the world gets the chance to see us for who we are and can judge it, and like they hear our sound and they're like, yo, no, you did that.
And I love that too, because it's a real fascinating perspective when, of course, everyone says like, I want the world to see me, I want them to hear me, I want to put myself out there. But in our brains, just how we are, where we're from, the world to us is it's the United States. It's all across this country. But when you literally have people from out of this country and completely foreign places reaching out to you, you made it. You hit the world. You said, hey, here I am. What's up?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think a lot of people, we don't understand that at first because, we say I want the world, but until the world actually comes knocking at your door saying like, hey man, I like your stuff, it kind of catches you off guard. I mean, even as a podcaster, I find listeners in other countries and I'm like, what? This is, I didn't know that. Like I have a high percentage in I think it's Ireland and Australia. And I'm like, what? What? That's crazy, but it's cool. Yeah. So hopefully you'll have some new Australian fans coming at you soon.
Hey, we welcome you all. Just reach out. We hit. We hit.
I really appreciate you guys sharing that with me. Thank you. And again, invest in yourself. Yes, that's something we always talk about, but I think this is the first time that I've had a guest when talking about the financial gains, actually explaining what your actual worth is. So I appreciate you guys telling me that. Thank you. Know your worth.
We don't have to. I promise you, we don't have to rap. I promise you, we don't.
I fought against it, to be honest.
Mind you, we've been rapping since we were 9. And we started recording our first song in like 2005.
No, we was 15.
We were 15. It was 2005. We started rapping and recording in 2005. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we were 9 when we first started rapping, and we recorded our first song in 2005. And then in 2019 is when he was like, I reached out to him and was like, hey, let's do this professionally for real. Like, fuck what our competition is going to look like, but let's really like, fuck it. Let's just put our stuff out there and do something that nobody's ever done.
Yeah, I think that makes you a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. So when people catch on to us, they're like, wait, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that. Like, even other people who are great, shout out to K-Shine, shout out to Busta Rhymes, shout out to Fat Joe. Like, even when they catched on, it was like, oh, wait, I wasn't expecting that. Like, you guys really came out of left field and you're really making a wave. It kind of caught people off guard. And it's like, hey, we don't have to rap, and don't give us a bullshit contract because we're going to look at you like you're stupid.
Know your worth. And know what you're worth.
Yeah, we wasn't in this for the money anyway. We were in this because we love hip hop, and hip hop, 50 years of hip hop. Like, happy birthday, hip hop. Happy birthday. Shout out to happy birthday.
I forget how young it is to the music world. I really forget that. That's awesome. Hey, guys, so before I get into the fun part of asking you some questions here, is there anything else that you'd like to wrap up or talk about in regards to the new album, which is out right now?
Absolutely. Go listen to it. Go check it out. Hit us in the DMs. Tell me what you think about it. We poured everything into this album. It took like literally, I explained it. It took us like a year to get to get the fine tuning and all that stuff.
And it was supposed to be a lot more features on that.
Yeah. So I love the work, the process of it, the creativity behind it,
what we're talking about. Everything.
It's not bullshit. It's real. It's facts. You can learn some shit if you listen to it. It's not just some shoot your mama, shoot your cousins. Like it's not none of that shit. It's that real shit that everybody's been missing, you know. So definitely go check out the albums and please tell us what you think.
Afro Summer for specifically, and just to tell you directly, it's for the hip hop lovers. Like if you love hip hop and you love just everything else besides just the shoot 'em up, bang bang shit, it's for you. Like it's like I'm a dad or I'm a son or I'm, you know, a young lady growing up in this world, what I want my man to be type of project. Like
role models.
Yeah, like
it's a role model album, but it's that
facts.
raw
rugged shit. Like
shit. We ain't rapping like no fucking, you know, I mean, I don't know how to explain it better than like some, like, I'm a nerd, so
I'm a big nerd.
Big nerd.
You're talking to a
I'm
nerd.
a real nigga too. So I'm a big nerd, but I'm a real nigga too. So just, if you fuck with that, fuck with us.
And the best part about the whole thing is that people still hit us up in the DMs and be like, I just caught what you said here in this song.
Yeah,
and they're like,
nerd.
Yeah, like they're like, oh my god,
they cracked the case.
Yeah, I'm a hood nerd. And it's exclusive. They're like, yo, I just heard you say this. Oh my god, like
I'm a hood nerd.
It's dope.
We hood
now
nerds.
You got to make an Illuminati album and really fuck with them.
We just have to.
All right. Hey, taking a quick break right here. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation so far, as the twins have been kind enough to take us through their personal journey and tell us the meaning and the inspiration behind their music, along with their creative process. And they've been kind enough to gift IPA with a song from their brand new album, which is streaming right now, Afro Summer. This is the Twin Kingz featuring Trey Isaacs, But Choose. Enjoy.
Through these troubling times, you may feel a rumble from the hunger inside, but you gotta get blinded by success and never show the struggle in the eyes. Either you gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' choose. Either you gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' do?
I'm trying to be rich. I break a couple rules, they scheming with my bitch. I'm smoking with it too as I'm sitting in the whip. We reminiscing too, nigga. I ain't had shit, but I play like it was cool. Same drawers, same socks. On my way to school, while I'm eating school lunch, they laughed at me too. Now it's lobster and shrimp. The joke is on you, but how could I forget? Robbing niggas for their jewels and even put some shoes. Why be proud of that shit? All I wanted was some food, cause I had to pull me up. Told me not to be a fool. He a two-time felon. He said it ain't cool, and I had to honor that, cause he really is a goon. And I never chose a gang, but I chose to stay in school. And I'm happy that I listened, cause now I'm living crew. And you might think it's lame, but I can hire you, and I stand on respect, and I lay you in the toe, nigga.
Or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' choose? Either you gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' do? Decisions. I learn lessons through persistence. Imagine nights praying for some blessings just to miss them. From those who were right, stressing much to get it. You're not alone, fam, solely home before eviction. Pressure, the pressure setting in cause you tripping, feeling tested. Now you think about chefing in the kitchen, no. Flaming on, the flame is on. Stakes is hot, fixing profits to the break of dawn. Cleaning money in this soap opera. No broke pockets, paying for some more options. For some slow profits like Gold Harbor Street credit, keeping real estate. A slow charge street credit, buying real estate. Facing like fresh prints in the cell clear. A celebrating like fresh prints with Bel Air. Robin Hood trapping, yeah, weapons stocked up. A Robin Hood's macking, checking which stocks up. Just giving guidance through the lightest. Though you feel like life is treating you slighted. Pray and be patient with your time and you find it. But every touch is golden king as you might it. You gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip, as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' choose? Either you gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip, as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' do?
I couldn't stay broke. Bitch used to laugh at the fact that I was poor. A hood nigga try and hit the lotto at the store. I could've sold dope and settled for quick cash and robbing niggas' folks. See, I was gon' sell the nigga that was frontin' me a quarter with the jail. My homie had 2 warrants and couldn't make bail. Rap is full of liars. I'm a ghost rider for hire. It ain't hard to tell what your life like. Thick bitches with long nails, rich problems. I want more dollars myself. Hey, let's be abundantly clear. I ain't supposed to be here. Didn't take nepotism. I am the one that you fear. This is one hell of a year. Made a decision to scare. We chose not to be there. Took us out the hood. The whole goal was not to be there. Fuck is you talking about? Streaming on a whole lot of shit you know nothing about. What
Either
you
you
gon'
gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip, as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' choose? Either you gon' win or you gon' lose. Figure if I'm in, then I'm gon' move. Sitting in this whip, as it dry smooth. Be broke or rich, like what you gon' do? Decisions, move.
All right, that was the Twin Kingz with their new song, But Choose, from the brand new album, Afro Summer, which is out streaming right now on all music platforms. Go check it out and support these amazing artists. And stick around for after the session, where the twins were kind enough to gift us with one more song to play you out on. And now, back to the conversation. So, twins, I want to ask you guys, moving along here into some of the fun questions. What is the biggest challenge you had to overcome, and maybe it's something you're still working on?
Damn, that's a good ass question.
Let me take that.
Yeah, go for it.
So the biggest challenge that I would say that we have to overcome is the fact that competition. We're competing with an oversaturated genre, and marketing and telling people that, hey, we're doing something different and it's against the grain. And it's hard to market and get people on board to appreciate that, because just like my twin said in a song that's eventually going to come out, nobody appreciated Da Vinci until he died. Like he was a fucking genius, and people are looking at him like he's a genius, but
everybody thought he was crazy.
Everybody thought he was crazy. Yeah. And they're like, yo, you're going against the grain. You're doing something that's nobody else has ever done, and you want me to be okay with that. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, we want everybody to be okay with it, but at the same time, we want you to understand, like, we are going against the grain for a reason, because everybody's going that route. So we are like in this because we love hip hop. We love the art. So we're going a different route. Like, sorry, we're going this way. So fuck it. We almost feel like King the Conqueror, conquering timelines type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and then, I forgot the question. That was kind of deep.
No, it was
kind of deep.
It was too deep.
Great answer.
I forgot the question. Shit.
The biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge that we try to we overcome.
Yes, I agree. Definitely being the ones to go against the grain, to go against what's the norm you hear on the radio, the norm you hear from every everyday rapper that does the same shit over and over again. Being that, we're different. We're not trying to sound like none of y'all. We're trying to be dope in our own right. But another big challenge that I would say, as well as that, would be, I guess, marketing through the scams.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
Jesus,
man.
Jesus,
like,
because they are fucking...
I promise you, they prey on us.
They try their best.
Bro, every day there's like a new scheme to try to get us to pay for some shit. Like, I think that shit is like the biggest fucking hurdle of all time.
Oh my God.
Can I just, thank God to Dom. Shout out to Dom, man.
Shout out to him.
Because at least we
Real
know
nigga, man.
he authentic. He's not trying to scam you like all the other fucking random DMs you get. Like, it's crazy. Yo, it's crazy.
I talked to Dom when he first reached out to me. I was like, I responded to him immediately because I said, from the first message you sent me, I'm able to respond to you because I feel like you're a human being. Like,
yes.
Because, even as a podcaster on social media platforms, I get tons of messages in my inboxes. But the difference was he reached out to me not only in my DMs, but in my actual email.
Yeah.
And talked to me. And I was like, oh, you're a real person. Yes, I'd love to talk to you. I love
yeah.
it. He's real.
Yeah,
He's very real.
Twin, you're right.
Yeah,
Like that's one of the hardest things to deal with. I'm telling you, they get so creative that they create new accounts and then pitch the same thing. I'm like, bro, please stop hitting me in the DM with the same bullshit.
My favorite is when they pitch you a sentence. They start off like dumb. We're like, oh, you might be real, and you give them a question. You just ask one question, and then you get a fucking copy paste, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
It's like, God damn it, you motherfucker, you mother like stop, like. Can I hire you? Can I hire you to do this to other people for me?
And that's what they'll do. They want you to hire them to do that.
Damn it. I offered a scammer a job. I said, hey man, you're good at what you do because you almost got me. You almost got me, mother. You almost got me. I'm like, hey man, I'm not gonna hold you. You're good at what you do, so can I hire you to do this on this level for me, please? You know what I'm saying?
I can definitely say I definitely agree that some of the biggest challenges you'll face as any kind of artist is dealing with scammers trying to reach out to you.
God.
I also liked what you said earlier too about, going against the grain, trying to stand out in an oversaturated talent pool. Look, I'm clearly a very white cis male from the South living in Los Angeles. I don't know much about the hip hop culture or that world, but I know what I like. I know what I listen to. And I know that even I can agree that you're right. It is so much oversaturated stuff where it's like people say hip hop and it's like, but this isn't hip hop. This doesn't sound like hip hop to me. And I don't have room to speak, obviously, but even I can tell you by listening, it's not hip hop.
Right.
It's flashy, yeah, but it's not there. There's no soul. Where's that?
People forgot the 5 fundamentals. That's the thing. Like people forgot the 5 fundamentals, and the 5 fundamentals are still extremely important and apparent. Like, knowledge is the most important thing that everybody forgets. B-boying, DJing, graffiti, and most important, like you're looking at it from a writer's stance. Can you perform? Mm-hmm. Like, so people look at it like, oh my God, there's the 5 fundamentals and da, da, da. People have a rough knowledge of the 5 fundamentals, but they don't apply it in any way. They're like, you're just imitating what other people are doing as opposed to just being yourself. Mm-hmm. The most important thing about hip hop is be yourself. Let people gravitate to you in regards to you and your art. Right. So people forgot the objectivity in regards to writing. Yeah. So I might write something that you don't agree with, but I still invoke something because you are emotionally listening to this and understanding and I felt the way.
And I absolutely agree with you, man. I think you are 100% right. I think I wouldn't say it don't sound like hip hop because hip hop is always going to have to evolve, right? We can't do the same thing.
Music itself needs to evolve. Yes,
music itself is going to have to evolve. So I wouldn't. The only thing I disagree with, I would say it's not that it's not hip hop. It's just that it's oversaturated in one particular part of hip hop. Like it's a boatload of kill, shoot, fuck. You know what I'm saying? And ho, bitch this. Like that's literally an oversight. But what about the J. Cole, the Kendricks, the Big Sean, the Kevin Gates, the Ludacris's that came out. You know what I'm saying? Like
the Eminem.
You know what I'm saying? The Eminem, the DMX. Like what about all of the like? You're so focused on kill, shoot, ho, fuck this bitch, that. You know what I'm saying? But what about the rest of the genre? What about the rest of the elements? What about the Griseldas? What about you know what I mean? Like it's so oversaturated with these young artists that are
thinking they're only following, and it's okay for them to follow. It's just that everybody's choosing to follow the same guy.
Yeah, it's like everybody wants to imitate one guy. Like for example, it's like, and I hate to say it, but it's in a way it's kind of true. Everybody's kind of trying to follow King Von.
Yeah.
Like that's what it seems like to me. Like when I hear like a lot of these younger artists, everybody's kind of trying to like King Von or do some type of drill record or something like that. It's like, okay, man, are we gonna really get back to hip hop? Or I mean, I respect that genre.
Everybody wants to be Pop Smoke. Yeah, like, everybody wants to be King Von. Everybody wants to be Nipsey.
Like instead of being themselves, let King be King.
Right.
Like be you. You be the next king.
Yeah,
not exactly like him.
Yeah, like I respect
be yourself. We're layered. I'm sorry, my fault, twin.
There's 2 of you.
There's 2 of us.
I respect the drill. I respect everything that they got going on with that genre, but I feel like it's so oversaturated with that we can't negate hip hop, rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't negate the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, the, you know what I'm saying, the Big Sean's, the, you know what I'm saying, like the other rap that's not drill. You know what I mean? Like it's just so oversaturated right now with drill that everybody's forgetting that there's still other elements.
And then on
of
top of that, like even now, you can see that people are navigating into the emotional rap. Like you can see it transitioning.
You know why? You know why? You know exactly why? Because there was so goddamn much kill shit. Should have been like, bro, how many people have died, bro? They gotta cry sometime. Like, let's be real. They gotta cry sometime, bro. It's coming out, man.
You gotta cry sometime, he says.
hey.
I mean, shit, man. You gotta cry sometime, man. God,
but it's crazy.
Yeah.
But you can see it transitioning into that. Like now, everybody wants to do auto tune and sing into a beat. It's like, nigga, we get it. Like, okay, like relax. Like you're singing because your man's man done died because you
a lot of
gang.
people done died, man. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of everybody dying, man. Jesus,
It's
man.
like, yo, but you see, and I said this in the last podcast that we was on. I told people like, you are in a situation where people are rapping and singing and doing things, and it's like everybody's seeing you do it, and then they're like, nobody really praises artists anymore. We're not on the same caliber of a fucking busting our ass from the G League to the NBA.
Yeah, we're not in the NBA yet.
You get what I'm saying? We're not in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then like NBA artists are looking at us and we're looking at each other and it's like, hey, we're busting our ass to get notoriety. Mm-hmm. And then the moment that we get notoriety, what do you do with it? Because all these people are not, the most artists are not even ready for notoriety. And I'm like, yo, you don't even know what it feels like to have somebody sitting in the bushes looking at everything that you do.
Clearly from this conversation, you guys are very knowledgeable about the world of hip hop. You're very knowledgeable in your personal experience of what you've been doing. Like you said, you've been passionately doing this since you were 9, taking yourself seriously since 2019. So you have experience, and in all of your experience, you know, at this point, what to anticipate, what's going to happen. So I want to ask you, what is something unexpected that you had to face, you know, and maybe it's something that you had to learn right then and there in the moment. And obviously you have this background, you have this experience, you know what you're doing, but sometimes things just come up and it catches you off guard.
That's a great question,
man.
I would say the most unexpected thing that kind of happened that I've had to I had no real adjustment for was so many actually.
There's a lot,
but I guess one that kind of really stuck with me, I would have to say social media.
Yeah.
And going
viral. And going viral.
And because what happened unexpectedly was social media. What I mean by that is like we had went viral for a video, a Throwback Thursday. It was like a Throwback Thursday, and we went viral out of nowhere for a video that I made with my son. It was like a couple. It was like 2 years. It was like a 2 year old, 2 or 3 year old video, and we went viral in it, and I was like, I wasn't expecting all of the comments. It was like
people
like
arguing.
100,000 people was arguing in the comments, like he's just disciplining his son. But it wasn't a bad video. It was a great video.
Great.
Actually,
I think it's fucking hilarious.
It was actually pretty funny. So the video, long story short, my son, I told my son to sweep up the area, and he swept everything, but he swept it underneath a rug. So I found it
Classic.
kind of funny.
The pun wrote itself.
Yeah,
The pun wrote itself, literally. Like,
so
who hasn't done that either?
So it was like a funny teachable moment. And what ended up happening was I pretty much told my son, like, hey man, like let this be a life lesson for you, man. You can't just sweep anything under the rug. You know, it's gonna be found. And ever since that thing went viral, what I mean by unexpected, it was because all of the comments we were getting, people were bashing us, talking about I'm a bad father, and people in the comments talking about, well, at least he's in his son's life, and all. It was wild. It went left.
One father to another. We need more teachable moments like that.
Yeah, it's like, yo, come on, we were joking.
That's how
like,
dads teach in teachable moments. We don't know how else to do it.
I was like, hey, man, I got to teach him this. So what ended up happening was he started to jump in the comments, and I was like, all right, bro. And I told him, I said, look, man, this social media stuff, like, we actually had to sit down. What I mean by unexpected is because I had to catch him in the moment because I'm seeing him type, and I'm like, whoa, like, we not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people, I don't know these people. They don't know us. I just know they're not going to run up on me saying that shit anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why do I even need to respond to your negativity kind of thing? So Like that was like more of an unexpected teachable moment where it's like, hey, yeah, like yo, twin, like we can't just jump in the comments and going back and forth with people. Like, nah, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, that was unexpected, and I'm gonna double down on that and say, like, making contact with a lot of our favorite celebrities was unexpected. Like, I just be DM fishing sometimes. Like, oh, I'm reaching out to this artist because they're dope, and making contact with Busta Rhymes, making contact with Fat Joe, making contact with Papoose, making contact with the game. I can keep on going, but like most of the time, like reaching out to them and then seeing a lot of the back end of it. Like now I get to see who you all use as your focal point and be like, oh, that's what you do? Got it. Even Jadakiss, I fuck with Jadakiss heavy, but it's like, all right, now I see the guy that's in control of y'all pages. And, seeing that was unexpected and it kind of caught us off guard. So, like, using that resources has been...
Yeah, just navigating.
It's just navigating. And then you get to see, like, a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So, like, most of the time, especially with this new album, we're going to expose a lot of shit that we go through because that's just who we are. But, it's just some real shit.
I do. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I do like that answer, though. I think it's the first time I've heard social media used as something unexpected, especially in that context. Like you said, people go viral for anything, whether it's positive or negative. And a lot of times it's neither. It really is neither. It's just opinions out there from other people who aren't you. It's just a unique, unexpected thing that you're like, why are you even worried about this? It has nothing to even do with you. Yeah. So definitely be aware of social media. It can catch you off guard for sure.
And I think that's what made it so much unexpected about it, because the content wasn't even had nothing to do with our music. So it was like, well, why is this blowing up? Like, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I guess we got an account that just loves, daddy moments, I guess. Like, yeah. So it was like one of those kind of situations.
And the best part is that so after that situation, I started to educate myself. There's a book called Contagious that Nipsey Hussle, promoted and talked about. And so I read that book called Contagious, and I'm like, all right, now I understand why things go viral.
Very smart. All right, I want to move along here, guys, into my next question for you. I want to know, what's a hard reality that you've had to deal with and accept? It's something discouraging, and it really is just, it's a matter of fact. There is no changing it. You have to just accept this and move forward. Like, how do you get around this? How do you deal with this? Because you can't change it. It's a hard reality. It is what it is, and it's just there.
People are going to hate. Like, people are going to hate what they don't know immediately. That's probably the hardest reality that we had to accept, the fact that it's going to be this way. Like, I can try to tell you, yo, we're the dopest niggas of all time, but we're in an oversaturated game. So you're going to hear a bit in pieces and not even really dive into really understanding who we are as artists. So you're looking at us like everybody else. So we have to be...
And they're going to hear everyone else saying the same things too.
Right. Mm-hmm. They're thinking that we're going to say the same things that everybody else is saying. So it's like, yo, we're just really just trying to be us. Because we're in this clouded group, we have to accept the fact that you're not going to really fuck with that immediately, because you're not even going to really take the time to listen. So it's one thing for me to be like, oh, I'm an artist, I'm gonna listen to other artists rap. Like I deal with artists all the time, and I'm like, hey, what you put out? They put out this, and I'm like, oh, this is, and I can tell the other artists that it's trash.
Yeah, and then like, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I would say too, yeah, the hate, the hate. I mean, and the bloodshed. I would say, the because the negative image of being a hip hop artist is one of the things that you just can't get away from. I mean, no matter how much we try to paint the picture to be completely different, is one of the biggest hurdles. I mean, let's be real about it. I mean, you can't change that. Once you say you're a hip hop artist, you automatically get painted a negative picture. Right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're the next Kendrick Lamar. They're still going to look at you like you're a fucking gangster.
It's layered, twin.
Yeah, it's layered
because if you think about it, right, we're in a layered situation, because me being single in this world, I meet so many different women that are like, oh yeah, I don't date rappers.
Yeah, like I said, you get a negative stigma on top of the hatred within each other. So it's like a hatred within each other, and then you get the negative stigma of being a hip hop artist. So you have that I think the combination of those two, I think is what you're pretty much what you're asking.
What you're elaborating on?
I feel and this is just my perspective, but I feel like that kind of sucks because it feels like even within your own culture of hip hop that you love and admire, you're also being stereotyped on top of how you are as a person in society who's going to be stereotyped anyway.
Right.
That's a double standard and it sucks.
Yeah, it does. It sucks.
And we had to,
but it's a harsh reality. But it's
a
the
harsh
truth.
reality. But you got to
you walk
that.
outside, you tell somebody you're a rapper, they're gonna be like, "Well, me too," or they either say "me too," or they're gonna say,
"I know somebody that does this."
My nephew, younger cousin, does that, and all he does is tow guns and smoke weed all day in his music videos.
And in the moment that we connect with them, we're like, "This is it." Like it's just same thing over and over and over again. So it's like, all right, you're not doing nothing different.
And I'm just going to give a fact of life here. You're absolutely right. It is a harsh reality. It's a hard reality. It's a fact of life. Myself included, I am learning more and more throughout the artists that I have come on the show, whether it's through the amazing artists that I've met through Dom and your crew, or some of the other musicians that I've met that have come on, and everyone has said the same thing. All these people that I've interviewed, all these artists of color have said the same thing to me. And I'm starting to realize, like, wow, my first thought sometimes is, I wonder, is it possible? And then I go, no, that's me stereotyping someone. That's me seeing it that way because of what I imagine, because I have no idea how that is. So I automatically think that, even as I am someone who has nothing to do with that community, I just think, oh, rapper must be gang affiliated. And that's not the case. It's not
the case. I'm a father. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I ain't out in these streets doing those.
And shockingly, I find out the more I talk to all these artists, especially in the hip hop community, you're all big nerds who have kids. You're family men who like Comic-Con. We have a lot more in common than I realized.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like you know. Like I said, it's a bad stigma in my opinion. Not everybody's out here to be running around doing negative activity. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that we haven't come from doing grimy shit. We have, but
I did some grimy shit.
But
we all do grimy shit. Even I've done grimy shit. I mean, no one's perfect.
Yeah, right. It's like, what did you learn from it? Because are you going to keep doing grimy shit, or are you going to just elevate? What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're absolutely spot on and correct with that. For sure.
Well, fellas, I appreciate you opening up about that. I appreciate you being honest with me. I appreciate you answering a lot of these tough questions, as I like to call them. So I'm going to move into some positive light here. I want to ask you, what has been the most valuable takeaway that you've learned from your experience? I want to know something that has helped you grow and improve as an artist. What has made you the best in the game, as you have claimed?
Relationships.
Yeah.
Relationships, man. Absolutely relationships. Met a lot of great people, talked with a lot of great people, networked with a lot of great people. And I think that's what makes us ultimately better, in my opinion. And, as the network grows, we grow. So I'm starting to realize that and notice that and build off the relationships of actually not getting scammed, but dealing with real people.
Yeah.
So
no bots.
The bots.
The bots. So I'm all for that's a great positive thing in my journey and our journey and what we decided to do, so.
And the best part, I just piggyback off that. Like, absolutely. Like, just being in a situation where we can connect with good people who is like, nah, I really fuck with you guys and I see what you're doing and I like it. And I want to support whatever you got going on and networking with those people. Like,
and supporting each other.
It's the relationships. Like, for example, I just met, shout out to Jay Royale. I just reached out to him and he's definitely going to be on the next project.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I love your answer too, relationships as a valuable takeaway. That's something that I share just hosting this show, creating this podcast. It's something that obviously I wanted to cultivate relationships with other artists and put them out there, but I didn't realize how much of a relationship I would get out of it, how much in return for myself I would get. And it's just ever expanding, constantly growing. And I find that fascinating because I'm like, I didn't expect that. That's to me is an unexpected thing, but it has become a very valuable takeaway for myself. So I love that you guys share that too. It's something important for any artist out there, regardless of what you're trying to do, cultivate those relationships.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
I agree.
Networking, as we call it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's beyond networking. It's not just networking. It is actually building relationships.
It's just you respect me as an artist, and I respect you, right?
And I agree. It's built off relationships, you know, and getting to know people. Absolutely.
So, you know, earlier we had talked about the unexpected. I actually want to ask you this time, what did you actually expect? What did you want from this current album, from And Fro Summer? What were you wanting from this? What did you expect?
I'll let you take that.
I knew he was
I can do it. I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, go for it.
So
I know exactly what I'm gonna say.
Honestly speaking, I expected people to at least appreciate the fact that we can do everything. So like us releasing it, because some people, we got so much notoriety off of like the She Made Heaven Fall album. And people are like, yo, this is bar driven. This is like heavy trap beat driven. Like, oh my God, da, da, da. And then we pivot into hip hop. And they're like, what the fuck? So I would say, like, to answer your question directly without being long winded, I would say is understanding that we can write anything. That's it. Like, we can literally write anything. And there's nothing that we don't have the opportunity to be able to do. Like, we really can do anything. And we normally work with our fans and constituents.
Yeah.
That's mighty. I just want to say that's mighty ballsy of you to know that what you expected was that you can do anything.
Yeah.
I like that. That's confidence. I like that.
Oh my God.
Threw me off with that one. But yeah, so
ballsy.
But that's yeah. I mean, I can understand that. I would say,
what did you expect from this album?
I expected.
What did you want?
I wanted a lot more feedback.
Yeah. Feedback, yeah. We wanted feedback.
Because I gave more of myself in this album
than anything else.
Like, I gave people like my real thought patterns, my what I think about, how
daily,
how I engage my life, the life lessons that I've encountered, and I wanted people to catch. I wanted people not also to ask me more questions, but I wanted them to dive more deeply into my word for words, like what I was talking about. Like we literally take the sweet time, extra time to make sure we put the lyrics in the catalog and then sync the lyrics
to the beat. Like, oh my God.
So
that's a bitch. That's a bitch.
I bet. Shit.
I wanted more people to like really pay attention to what we were saying.
Yeah, it was a bitch.
And I ain't gonna lie, I did get a lot of that feedback from a lot of my
That's
close
good.
friends. I did get that. But I wanted it from more people that was outside of that. I wanted more people like, you said that was crazy. I wanted people to be like, that reading in between my lines, like that was crazy. I like how you flipped that and stuff like that instead of just listening to the song. Yeah, the song was dope. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And that's the reason why we're pivoting to a much more visual approach this next album. Like the next album, we're not releasing that album until we at minimum have at least 8 videos to the entire. We're trying to make it a visual album. Like we want it to be visual.
Well, to those listening, you heard it here. The album's still fresh. It just came out. You can go listen to it. And please let Twins know how you feel.
Please let me know.
I ain't mad at you.
What was the craziest bar you heard? What was it? What line on that whole album stuck out to you? That's what I want to hear back.
Right. I mean, I can mention a line because you mentioned it already.
I already mentioned your line.
You can't give out free answers. They got to give it to you.
I'm not offering no more answers. I gave one. I'm not giving no more.
There's a lot more, but that was crazy.
What other line stuck out to you? That's what
we do know from what you've told us throughout this entire session is that this was a personal project for you. At least with this new album, it was very personal. So you're definitely passionate. You're expressive. You feel really strongly about your work and what you do. So I want to know, what's your drive? What motivates you?
My goal,
time.
My goal,
time and the goal. Like literally time and the goal.
I told her what my goal was. My goal was 100 published songs out everywhere. Yeah. That's what I wanted. I wanted 100 published tracks, mixed and mastered, telling a story.
Excluding.
Yeah, he's making it a point.
Exclude the features. We're gonna do this just us. Like just.
What's our count out now? Where are we at now? Where are we at in the count out?
41. We have 41 right
41.
Now. So
41. Dang, you're more than almost halfway.
Yeah.
And the next album's already
done.
Then you'll be halfway.
So we're moving.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
So I think that's my goal. That's what kind of drives me to tell a story from track 1 all the way to 100, telling the story with the track titles from beginning to end. That is my goal. That's my passion. That's what I told them I'm in it for, and I'm going to give it my all until I get there.
Yeah, so. and then even so, we might get there and be like, yo, a lot of people really fuck with this. Yo, they're fans. Like, we got to keep giving them something. So
yeah, but I told them I'll gauge it after we get there.
Yeah, we get there and we'll gauge where we at. Like, was it purposeful?
Was it? Yeah, exactly.
Type of thing.
Which I know it's going to be purposeful for me because I put a lot of passion into it. So, but yeah.
But this is great because if you look at it in this situation and you're like, oh my God, like you guys really want 100? Like, yeah, we want 100. Yeah, like people, like even now, like other people are like, yo, I'm really impressed by your catalog. Like you have a bunch of music out here that I can just Google your name and it pops up.
It wasn't hard.
It wasn't.
I mean, I was given a link, but then I couldn't find the link, and I was like, let me just Google real quick.
Yeah. And it's crazy because most independent artists don't even, own their Google domain. They don't even own their Google domain.
Wow.
Imagine that. Like most artists that I talk to, I'm like, hey, man, do you own your Google domain?
Yeah.
Like,
I think if you were to Google IPA, you're going to get a ton of beer at first.
Right.
A ton of beer. But I'm like the only podcast, surprisingly, I'm the only podcast using that. I was like, how is that possible? And podcasts have been out for almost 20 years now.
You know that kind of gives you a idea.
Yeah,
I'm trying so hard to reach out to local brewers. I need to see how that beer artistry is done. I need some local brewers.
Hey.
You know anyone? Send them my way.
Clubhouse might be the move, bro.
Yeah. Send them my way.
I'm gonna reach out to them because they're based 100%. Out in Maryland.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be dope, man.
Yeah, because that's the thing about breweries. They're independent, man. They're beer houses. They're going against the big mega, the big mega corps. They're going up against Bud.
Come on,
they'll be willing to grow with you. They be like, oh yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, put this out here.
I'll be a free sponsor. You send me beer, and I'll brag about it all day. You ain't even gotta pay me. Just pay me in beer. I'm here for it. Exactly. All right, fellas. I want to ask you now, winding this all up, coming to the final question here, and it's really more of a statement from you. Is there any advice, something that you would like to say to anyone out there looking to do what you do?
Yeah. I would say I got one. He got one. We'll give you three.
I know it's going to sound cliche, but I don't want to sound cliche because I'm going to say it my way. I would say find something that you're really fucking good at, and don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
We all fail.
Like that. I haven't heard that yet. I like that.
We fail all. Don't be afraid to fail. If you're afraid to fail, don't get started. If you're afraid, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to disappoint. Don't be afraid to come up short. Embrace it. Love it. Because you know there's nobody else out there that's willing to try to make that effort, to make that step to say, I dare to be great. At least I tried. And that's the one thing I'm gonna teach my son as well when he gets older. Like, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to try. Because at least you tried. And as long as you're willing to try, you can do it again. And guess what? Something gonna hit. So keep going, keep driving, and keep pushing, and don't be afraid to fail. That's how
we got them Southern euphemisms back home, and one of them is falling upwards.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. So I'm gonna just piggyback off of him because I said we're gonna give two, and that was a great answer.
He's still in the thunder tonight.
yeah. Like if there's anything that I could say, like, hey, if you're really serious about it, study. Like, learn what you're doing. Period. Learn it. Like, be willing to do the homework that nobody else is doing. Because you might just be, I'm following what he's doing, but you're not really.
Nobody's reading anymore.
Yeah, nobody reads. Read it. Like, oh my God. Like, I just watched, like, for example, like, God rest Nipsey Hussle's life. Like, but he's dope, but everybody in the world is familiar with him in some way.
I live in Los Angeles. He's fucking huge out here.
He just got a star on the Walk of Fame. Like, it's just like, hey, there's videos.
Amazing.
There's videos that cross my timeline of him, and I'm just like, wow, amazing. You just put me on to like 4 new books, and I'm not like anybody else. I read those books, and then I keep notes of the books that I read. So if there's anything that I could tell anybody else to do, like, hey, Study. Like, for real. Like, fuck it. Like, you might not have went to college. You might not have graduated high school. You might be a bum. Whatever. YouTube University, my guy.
Yeah.
Learn that. Study it. Read and listen to every video that ever comes out in regards to this topic or whatever you love. You should try to do everything that you can to understand it. Because when I told my twin brother, hey, we're going to rap, nigga, and he said, let's do it legitly, I didn't know shit about nothing.
It's a fact.
He made you step up.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, we got to do it for real. I was like, I didn't know shit about nothing. I'm like, hey, fuck it. Then guess what? We're going to find a distributor, and we're going to find, a marketer. We're going to find some publication links. Like, we're in like a bunch of magazines that are fucking top notch. So I go, fuck it. Like, I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Like
so
I said,
just study.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be afraid.
Just try.
Listen,
trying.
I know you guys are independent artists, but you are doing extremely well. I'm actually humbled after looking at all your accolades. I'm very humbled to have you come onto my show and share your journey with me, share it with this audience. So thank you. I appreciate that you've taken the time to do that.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you, man.
We appreciate you. And I want to at least give you your flowers in the now. You are wherever you are. We are wherever we are. And guess what? The best part is the fact that you specifically not only appreciate the grind and the work ethic and take people and take clients and stuff like that, you actually take the time to be able to ask questions to really pick and dive into our minds and our creative process. Like, not a lot of people even remotely even want to know that.
Yeah, great questions, man.
Those are boring. Why would you not do that?
Yeah, like a good
That's all I know.
Yeah,
I'm a nerd. I gotta know what's in that crazy ass head of yours, man.
It's great. That's what I'm saying. Like you really opened up a situation to not only one, make us comfortable, two, make us understand what you're trying to do, three, appreciate where you're trying to go. And you as a podcast, man, come on, man.
Yeah, sky's the limit for you, man. I appreciate it.
For real.
You dope,
thank you.
Dope platform. I appreciate you having us, man. It was an honor to be here.
And we want to always give you your flowers, period.
Yeah.
So
and for everybody listening, please go check out our album.
Right? I was about to say, listen, enough about me and how great my show is. Because it's actually your show. This is a show for you, for the artists. I want you guys to put yourself out there. Please promote yourself anywhere we can find you, where we can find your music. And of course, listeners, links are in the show notes. Go check them out. The Twin Kingz. Check them out.
Absolutely.
So you can find us at, Twin Kingz, 2WIIN _ Kingz with a Z. That's on IG.
Everywhere.
That's everywhere. You can literally Google us. We're everywhere. That's on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, everything. So please check us out. TwinKingz.com. We have a website up. DM us if you want to partake in our music video, Butt Shoes on album and Fro Summer. We're shooting it October 14th out here in Maryland.
At like 6 p.m.
So just let us know if you want to be a part of the music video. I'm all for it. Just shoot us a DM.
Facts. We're on every platform. We're only focusing on Instagram right now to make sure that we can get our blue check. That's all.
I had a blast, man. It was a lot of fun.
This is dope.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. I really appreciate you taking us down your personal journey. For those of you who've been listening, this is not one guy. These are two guys in one. They're a package deal. They're Twin Kingz. They're amazing. As they've stated, they're telling you a story. It is long prose, spoken word, and they got more to say and more to come. But right now, Fro Summer is out streaming right now. Please go listen to it. These guys are cracking me up. I fucking really loved having you on today. This was awesome.
Absolutely. We'll be back. We will be back. We will be back.
Oh, absolutely. Another album comes out. Let's talk some more.
Oh, easily.
Got more to say. I love it. For those of you out there that want to do what these guys do, you want to make put yourself out there in the hip hop world. Like they said, cultivate those relationships. Do not be afraid to fail. In fact, fail hard and grow from that. Become better, because that's the number one takeaway that you should hear from these guys. Because like they said, they're the best in the game. They're the best at what they do. They came here to tell us that. They're telling you. So if you want to be the best, you got to fail first.
Facts.
Until next time, everyone, just stay golden.
Salute.
Thanks for listening. Please be be sure to rate and review, and click that subscribe button for new bi-weekly episodes. As always, the theme music is provided by The Erica Page. Follow us on social media at IPA Sessions Podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now we have a TikTok and YouTube. All information and links are in the show notes, so show some love and support for these amazing indie artists. And if you'd like to come on and share your journey as an independent artist, reach out to me via email at ipasessionspodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, I hope you found some inspirations for practical application and entertainment.
Press record when you hear my truth. Hear God vocal cords when I'm in that booth. And I know for sure you repeat that too. Let my words live on after I leave you. Memories don't live like people do. They always remember you. We gon' do what we have to do. They in the way, then they have to move. No problem, we got to choose. Big problem, we have to prove. We gon' do what we have to do. Move, nigga, they ain't seen me in weeks. No, I'm a soldier and high, I value peace. So please, don't make me have to drag you through these streets. I got a track record, I really give you the beats. I speak in sign language and I don't get paid to teach. Twin Kings, kingdom is never under siege. We bear enough arms to bury you 6 feet. Made it out the struggle, the little American dream. 1,000 ways to hustle, we saying the same thing. Fuck waiting to die with my flowers now, nigga. So like Queen Bee brings me another honey dip in. 30 on a white boy truck just to sit in. I own land past my gun line, you missing. You know something? Leave something after you die. And take care of the ones that surround you, you know why. Memories is memories, mean that you can't die, nigga. Memories don't live like people do. They always remember you. We gon' do what we have to do. They in the way, then they have to move. No problem, we got to choose. Big problem, we have to prove. We gon' do what we have to do. They in the way, then they have to. Sticks and stones may break bones, but words hurt too. This painfully written. Stand for something or you fall on your face. Even at the top of the mountain, you can still fall from grace. That's why you appreciate the steps it takes when you climb. You must have still for me, then I will come for your hand. These niggas don't understand the principalities, and it's probably because of the absence of man. Life lessons, and through these words, man, you understand. See, I go through my own shit, but I don't let you smell it. See, I self-compartmentalize, but live to tell it. Control my emotions, not just kill you niggas. Then what? Talk to my strength, that's my cellmate. A lot of young black kids seal their own fate. Now I'm trying to just change the system that this man made. I am one, becoming two, like who would've knew? Shoot for the moon, but then I fall like I somehow flew. Yeah. Memories don't live like people do. They always remember you. We gon' do what we have to do. They in the way, then they have to move. No problem, we got to choose. Big problem, we have to prove. We gon' do what we have to do. They in the way, then they have to. Oh Lord, press record when you hear my truth. Hear God vocal cords when I'm in that mood. And I know for sure you repeat that too. Let my words live on after I leave you.